back to all my dear students and friends. I am Rabinshu Sharma, Assistant Professor in Department of Journalism and Mass Communication of BBD University, Lucknow. So, in my last video, I have discussed with you about the microphones. What are the types of microphones? How you are choosing the microphones as per your programs. The types of microphones on the basis of their direction. The microphones on the basis of their make. So, and I have discussed with you about the frequencies and the diagram, the receiving sound pattern, the cardioid microphone, polar, and the various other things that I have discussed in that video. I hope you must have liked that video and got a lot of new things in that video. So now today I'll discuss with you about the sound. The basic thing about this sound, the more insights about this sound, how that sound is produced, like we'll talk about the human ear. We'll discuss about these types of sound, how sound is produced, and how sound is traveling from one place to the another. What are the source, vacuum, what are the thing that the sound needs medium to travel? What is compression? What is fraction? What is wave literally, and what type of infrasonic waves are there. We'll also talk about the mechanical waves. We'll talk about the structure of the ear of the human. We will discuss about the sonar system. We will talk about the voiceover commentary, the background scores, the background music, the sound effects, and various a lot of interesting new things we will discuss in this coming video. So I hope you will like this video and you'll enjoy this video. So let's start this video, and we'll discuss about the importance of the sound, and we'll discuss about the what is the exactly the importance of the music and the background score in this visual imagination for the all thing of the radio is. So let's start with this presentation. So the contents that we'll be discussing is what is sound, the types of sound, how sound is produced, how sound is travel, what are the rarefaction, what is compression, what is wave, types of infrasonic waves, what are the mechanical waves, the human ear, what is sonar, what is voiceover, SFX, BG music, and etc. A lot of other things. So let's start with this topic, sound. So, what is exactly sound means? We have also discussed in my few videos back about the sound, but in this we'll discuss more deeply about the sound. I hope you must have studied about the sound in your school times when you were studying the physics, chemistry, and the mathematics in that time when you were studying the science as a subject, that is compulsory subject in class 6th, 7th, or 8th. So I'll talk something about the physics or the science that you have studied in your primary section. So you'll able to recall those some concepts about the science. So we'll don't go much more deeper into the science, but as per the this subject, this radio demands the sound relation with the physics, because that is somewhere in touch, in connection with the science, the physics that we have in studied in the school times. So I'll take you to that, but with a little bit. Now I won't go much more deeper into the science, but you will feel like that you are studying science. So I'll try to teach that in a very interesting way. Let's start. So we have sound thing. What is sound? The sound is a mechanical wave that is an oscillation of pressure transmitted through a solid, liquid, or gas, composed of frequencies within the range of hearing and of level sufficiently strong to be heard, or sensation stimulated in organ of hearing by such vibrations. So this is a kind of definition that you can learn and you can write in your exams about this science. So this is again, it's you see it's oscillation of the pressure transmission through the solid, liquid, and the gas, three states, and it's composed of frequency. Sound is basically composed of frequency within the hearing range of the human that we have already discussed in hertz. So the next slide is saying that the types of sound. So there are two types of sound, that is audible sound and the other one is inaudible sound. So what are the audible sound? The audible sound that you can hear right now. What I am saying to you, you can listening that. So this is you can listen, or like knocking of a table, knocking of a door, or any sound X Y Z, any sound that you can hear, like a human can hear. That is audible sound. And the sound which human cannot hear, that are inaudible sound, that sound that you cannot hear, but that sound can be heard by a few animals like bats and the other. They have this special capability of hearing sound, but they do not have the same human listening frequency range of the sound. They have different. So that sound is audible for them, but that sound is inaudible for us. So these are basically major categories of the two types of sound that is. So now let's discuss how sound is produced. Like when we have talked about the microphone in my last video, I have said that microphone is a device that converts the vibration, the sound waves converts into the electronic signals, the electrical waves. So when we say hi, hello, we produce sound. So how that sound is produced when that is going to the microphone? So a sound is produced because of vibration. So I have said and discussed in my last video what I'm saying, hi, hello. So I'm saying things. So there's a vibration in my trachea cord. What I'm saying, hello, hi. So in my sound this vibration is getting produced right now. If I am talking to you right now, I'm discussing, I'm teaching with you right now, so vibration is continuously produced. If I touch with my one finger or two finger in my neck, so I'll feel some vibration, hi, hello, hi. So I'll feel the vibration here, and a vibration can be defined as a rapid back and forth movement of a body about a central position. So I have said earlier also, we'll be discussing the physics, chemistry, maths, bio, and the other things. So with the sound, so I'll use the scientific words in this video. So I hope you all are familiar with this video, and you all must have studied science in your primary school. So a vibration can be defined as a rapid back and forth movement of a body about a center position. So a movement of a particular thing, molecules, and you can also say that's a sound. Thus, a sound is capable of being heard. But sound is capable of being heard. Anyone can listen to the sound if it is produced. Okay. The organ of human being, any organ of the human being that is involved in producing sound is the larynx. Again, it's a biology. You must have heard about the body parts biology. There is a larynx, pharynx. So that part of the body, that organ is involved in producing the sound. So that is known as larynx. The voice is situated in the neck at the upper end of the windpipe. So there is a windpipe and this larynx. So in the upper end of the windpipe, the voice is situated in the neck. The sound produced is controlled by the vocal cord. We have vocal cord in our neck, so that the sound is produced controlled by the vocal cord, which are thin membranes stretched across the voice box. So we have larynx, that's for voice box, and the thin membranes that are stretched across the voice box. Thus, there are also muscles attached to the vocal cords. With that, these muscles are very the tension in the vocal cords. With the help of these muscles, we can make different sounds. Like a single person can make various types of sound, can change their pitch, and like anything, a single like the VO artist, what they do, they just they have the different types, they have muscles, everyone have the muscles in the neck. So with the help of these muscles, and they change the tension in the vocal cord and make different types of voice. They can make the voice of a male, they can change the voice to female, they can change the pitch, they can change the amplitude of anything, they can change, they can make a sound of a cartoon or the other things. So these generally the sound is basically produced. Coming to the next slide, and it talks about the how does sound travel. Again, it's a very important thing. We when we know how sound is produced, so how it is travel? Does it travel in the space? No, it needs a medium, that's air, to travel. So how does basically sound travel? We'll discuss here. Sound comes from a series of vibration, not with the one single vibration sound is produced. Sound comes from the series of vibration. Okay, so series of vibration, and all the sounds you heard in the experiment occurred because of vibration and energy. Both the things are required to make sound. Sound travels in a wave when a source or something that produces sound vibrates. It transfers its energy to the surrounding particles, causing them to vibrate, and then another particle, they transfer their energy to the another particle, they vibrate, then so on. This process keeps on going, and this is the process. Sound is traveling. Those particles then bump to the another one next to them, and so on. This causes the particles to move back and forth, but the waves of energy move outward in all the direction from the source. Your vocal cord and the strings of the guitar are both source which vibrate to produce sound. If you are playing a guitar, then again you have the strings. So when you play the strings with a pick, and again there's a vibration that you can feel if you have the guitar with you. And again, both can be the source of sound, vibration, the sound, like the number neck or the larynx or the sound box of the guitar. Without energy, there would be no sound. So again, sound is related with the energy. So sound is, again, you can say it's energy. Without energy, there would be no sound. Let's take a closer look at the sound wave, how these things work. This is a process of compression and the rarefaction. Uh, it's a process in the, you can see it's you must have studied in the science in your class 6 or 7. The high pressure region, it's created by vibrating objects, such as it moves forward and pushes and compresses the air in front of it, is called a compression. That is, this compression starts to move away from the vibrating objects. When the vibrating objects move backward, it creates a region of low pressure, and that is called the rarefaction. Here in the diagram below, you can see the compression, the particles on the groups. Here is the compression, the objects that move forward and pushes, and they compresses the air in front, and they comes closer to the particular part, they create a group. So this is the compression, and this compression starts moves away from the vibrating object. So the objects that move away and the backward is in this center region, the small distance particles. This is the rarefaction process. So now let's discuss what is wave. A wave is a disturbance that travels through the sound, the space, and the time, accompanied by the transfer of energy. What I have said again, it's transfer of energy. It's these energies, they are transferring the energies from molecule to molecule, and another molecule to vibration, and so on. You can see this is a process, like it's transferring. So here is the source speaker, and here is this the human ear. So human ear is listening this sound that is originating from the speaker, and bottom you can see it's traveling. So it's traveling in the form of wave. So this is the transfer of the molecule energy vibration from molecule to molecule, and so on. This is the process of traveling of sound, and where in between it's creating a wave. It's traveling in a wave. So a wave is a disturbance that travel through the space and time, accompanied by the transfer of energy. So this energy is transferring from the source to the ear, you can say. So now see what are the types of waves, infrasonic waves and this one ultrasonic waves. So sound waves of frequency below 20 hertz is infrasonic, and sound frequencies that are sound wave frequencies that are below 20,000 hertz that are ultrasonic, and sound frequencies below 20,000 is infrasonic. So infrasonic below 20,000 hertz and the above 20,000 hertz is ultrasonic. So there's a difference of 20 hertz and 20,000 hertz. What are mechanical waves? So mechanical waves are the waves. Let's say see the literal meaning of the word mechanical. Mechanical means something that is in movement. Mechanic, it's moving. So mechanical waves are waves which require a medium to travel. A medium is a form of matter, and whenever we talk about the matter, we talk about the like solid, liquid, gases. But here we talk about the a medium that form matter which the wave travel. So wave travel, in that wave travel that can be such as water, air, and the glass. That's again a solid, liquid, and the gas. So glass, water, and air. Waves such as light, or you can say X-rays, they are also waves, and other forms of radiation do not require a medium to travel. You can carry out X-ray in space also with this medium, so you can travel carry that there also. What are the two kinds of mechanical waves? What are the two kinds? First is transverse wave. It's a very famous wave, transverse wave. In a transverse wave, the matter in the wave move upward and downward at the right angle to the direction of the wave. That is the 90-degree. It is moving upward and the downward. That's the transverse wave. And the second type of mechanical wave, that is longitudinal wave. Longitudinal wave. So what happens in longitudinal waves? In longitudinal wave, the matter of the wave move backward and fourth parallel to the direction of the wave. So it moves the backward and the fourth parallel to the direction of the wave. So it's like two types of mechanical waves are there. We'll see the structure of the human ear. Basically, there are three parts of the human ear, that is cochlea, and the other middle ear, the outer ear. Basically, the ear that is defined as that is divided into the three parts. That is the inner ear, that is the middle ear, and the outer ear. So the human ear is a device, you can see, which converts the pressure variation in air with audible frequencies into electrical signals. Yeah, basically, a microphone is a device that converts some things like this. But if you see human ear, it is also a device. It works as a device which converts the pressure that is available in the air with audible frequencies into electrical signals that travel to the brain through the auditory nerve process. So the auditory part of the human ear, that is, you can see auditory, that is ear. Here is a part of the ear. The outer one, that is pinna, that is ear canal. You can see that's going deeper into this. This is the ear drum which vibrates. The out sound goes there. There's a hammer above the ear drum. This anvil, you can see, is the nerve curve. The stirrup, and this is cochlea. It's an important part of the ear, cochlea. And this entire human ear is bifurcated into the three parts. That's the outer ear. This is the outer ear. Then the middle ear. This is one is middle, and the inner ear, that is cochlea and stirrup is there. So outer ear basically it has eardrum and the pinna and the hammer and everything. So the outer ear is a pinna. It collects the sound which passes through the auditory canal. There is a eardrum at the end of the auditory canal, which when a compression of a medium reaches the ear, it pushes eardrum inward. Similarly, eardrum moves outward when a rare fraction reaches there. In this way, eardrum vibrates. The vibrations are amplified several times by hammer, anvil, and stirrup in the middle ear. In the inner ear, the pressure vibrations are turned into electrical signals, which further are sent to the brain, and brain interprets them as sound. So this is the process of the human ear, how we listen this sound. So let's see another thing, that is sonar. Yeah, so again an interesting one. Sonar is a system that uses reflection. Reflection is again a concept of physics. The sound is traveling and it bounces back after striking to a particular place. That is a process of the reflection. So now we'll see. This has been used to find sunken ships and schools of fish. So generally, this sonar sound waves used to find objects underwater that are that are lost, or you can use to search. It's a diagram you can see in this diagram. The ship is sound sonar signals are sent here. This bottom arrow down side, these signals are sent, and if the sunken ship is there in the bottom, so the sound is uh, reflecting with this, and the reflected signals are coming back, and the person who is sitting in the ship using sonar system is having a hydrophone, so he is listening that waves signals, and he is converting that the codes, and he is able to identify the distance between the sunken ship and the ground sea level. What is the distance and the difference? So in this way you can identify this object that is existing in the bottom, or the fish group of fish is there in the bottom or not, and if it is there, and what is the distance between the bottom and the ship. So this is the underwater sound waves to detect the objects. The ultrasonic waves produced by a transmitter kept in a ship are directed towards the ocean floor. The object and the ocean floor reflect these waves. The detector that is fitted along the with the transmitter in the ship, as shown below in this diagram, you can see it detects the waves, reflected waves. Then, by measuring the time of interval between the generation of the wave and the reception of its echo, that is the generation and the reception of the ultrasonic sound, and the speed of sound in the water we calculate in the depth. This is very famous formula, that is speed is equals to distance upon time, and if we have to calculate the distance, then it is like distance upon the speed, its time, and if you have to calculate the distance, that speed is equal to distance upon time, so the distance is equals to speed into time. We multiply the speed and the with the time, so we get the distance. So here you can see the ship, and this water surface, it's a detector in the bottom of the ship, and the ultrasonic sound waves transmitter and receiver. There is a sea bed at the bottom. So now let's discuss a few sounds direct sound, direct sound, indirect sound, the sound effects, special effects, and the various interesting things. So let's start with the direct sound. Now, what is the direct sound? Live sound. This may have a sense of freshness, spontaneity, and authentic atmosphere, but it may not be acoustically ideal because it is direct sound without any moderations and the editing. We are listening to direct sound. Ambient sound, that can also be a direct sound. Next is that studio sound. What is studio sound? Studio sound is sorry, uh, studio sound. Studio sound is recorded in the studio to improve the sound quality. eliminating unwanted background or the ambience sound. For example, if you're dubbing the sound, the dialogues of a movie or the short film or the documentary, then you can record those sound in the studio. And if you want to add the ambience of the particular area, then you can record or you can download the ambience sound, and you can patch the out ambient sound in the back layer of that sound. Basically, this may be then mixed with the live elements, environmental elements, like sound of a ship or sound of a railway station, trains passing through, and you have to record it and dub the voice in the studio. And then you are, if you have to make the, if you want to play with this sound, if you want to play the, change the ambience, you can do anything for if you're recording the sound in the studio. The next one is selective sound. Uh, the removal of some sounds, the removal of some sounds, and the retention of others to make significant sound more recognizable for the dramatic effect, to create atmosphere, meaning, and emotional nuance. Selective sound and amplification. This makes us aware of a watch or a bomb ticking. This can sometimes be subjective divide, leading us to identify with the character, to hear what he or she hears. Sound may be so selective that the lack of ambient sound can make it seem artificial or expressionless. So this can be anything. This is a selective sound. Coming to the sound perspective and the oral perspective. Yeah, oral perspective and the selective perspective. The impression of distance in sound, usually created through the use of selective sound. Note that even in live stations, live television, a microphone is deliberately positioned just to face the camera, is and therefore may privilege certain participants. So in that television recording programs, the sound perspective is different, the oral perspective is also different. So we need to know the perspective, and we need to know the type of program what we are recording. So that the impression of the distance sound is usually created through the use of selective sound. You need to identify that. Coming to the sound bridge, adding to continuity through the sound by running sound, narrations, dialogue, or the music from one shot across a cut to another shot to make the action seem uninterrupted. So according to this continuity, like sound bridge, this through the sound, the running sound from one shot to the other shot, they make the action seem uninterrupted. So this is name is bridge. So bridge is what doing connecting two places. So in continuity also we need to connect the two different parts of the recorded, shoot it, edit it. So just to create the transition, or good smooth transition of the connecting two areas in the continuity, we use this sound bridge process. Dubbed audio. Next is dubbed dialogue. Dubbed dialogue, post recording the voice tracks in the studio, the actors matching their words with the top on screen lip movement, not confined to the foreign language dubbing. Because many times it happens when you really are shooting the movie and there are a lot of ambient sound is there, you're not able to record the sound properly, so you need to dub the audio. So you see the scene, you see yourself on the screen, and you dub the voice, you dub the audio by watching your own lip movement. So this is the dubbed audio, not confined to the foreign language dubbing. A wild track, that is asynchronous sound, a sound which was self-evidently recorded separately from the visuals, with which it is shown. For example, a studio voiceover added to a visual sequence later. When the narration or the program, the montage, if you are creating that, like there also, you can add in this that case. Parallel synchronous sound, that is sound that by some event or screen which matches the action, or you can say there's a synchronous sound as per the dialogue, as per the visuals, the voiceover is matched and going on smoothly. Commentary and the voice over narration. Commentary spoken off screen over the shots shown. The voiceover can be used to introduce a particular part of program or to add extra information not evident from the picture. It can be used to interpret the images of the audience from a particular point of view. It can be used to link parts of a sequence or program together. A commentary confers authority on a particular interpretation, particularly if the tone is moderate, assured, and reasoned. In dramatic films, it may be the voiceover of one of the characters unheard by the others. And we talk about the silence, and the juxtaposition of an image, and the silence can frustrate expectations, provoke, add self-conscious response, intensify our attention, make us apprehensive, and make us feel dissociated from the reality. And it is also used to relax oneself. So its silence has a very different meaning in the film or in the radio. Even if you are writing the storyboard, you have to mention the silence in that also. Coming to the music, music is a very, it sets or it change sets the mood of the audience of the movie or the radio or any program. Music helps to establish a sense of the pace of the accompanying scene. The rhythm of the music usually dictates the rhythm of the cuts. The emotional background coloring of the music also reinforces the mood of the scene. Background music is asynchronous music which accompanies film. It is not normally intended to be noticeable. Conventionally, the background music accelerates for a chase sequence because louder to underscore a dramatically important action. Through repetitive, it can also link shots, scenes, and sequences. Foreground music is often synchronous music, which finds its source within the screen event. For example, from the radio, TV, stereo, or the musicians in the scene, it may be a more credible and dramatically plausible way of bringing music into a program than background music. Background, a string orchestra sometimes seems too bizarre in Western. Background music is also known as BG, that is the background scores or the background music, one can say this. So let's have a look of some background musics, the background scores, famous one that we have. Let's have a view. Let's have a listen of that.
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town.
So this was some background, for few background musics that you have listened. So let's move to the sound effects. What sound effects? A sound effect or the audio effect is an artificially created for enhanced sound or sound process used to emphasize artist or other content of film, television shows, live performances, animation, video games, music, or other media. Any sound from any source other than synchronized dialogue, narration, or music. Dubbed in sound effect can add to illusion of reality. A stage set or door may gain from the addition of a sound of a heavy door slamming or creaking, knocking of a door, crying of a child. Like a lot of anything sound effect can be used, but that just you set the mood. And yes, if you were making a docudrama, radio drama, and you need to add the sound effects just to give the feeling of that program, then the sound effects are the best one. So let's have some look to the famous sound effects.
died. Nope.
You suck!
Everybody put your hands in the air. Get over here!
Toasty!
Ha! Gay! Quad!
Say what?
Monster kill.
To infinity and beyond!
So these were few sound effects that you have seen that are used to make your scene more rich. For example, if you're making a radio program or if you're making a film, you're editing. So these gives the more good feeling in a synchronized way. In the dialogue, you can add in the background in the synchronized or in an unsynchronized way. If you're using any dub sound, you can add the sound effects to get you more good feel in your program. Now we will see some frequently asked questions that comes to our mind generally when we talk about the sound. So the first one is, does sound have energy? Yeah, sound is produced when an object vibrates. The sound vibrations cause waves of pressure that travel through a medium such as air, water, wood, or metal. Sound energy is a form of mechanical energy. Can we store sound energy? The energy can be stored in batteries with the wires connected with two poles. Similar to moving coils, microphones relies on electromagnetic conversion. When the sound wave makes sound diaphragm vibrate, the coil also vibrates. Electricity is produced and can be stored. What can sound not travel through? Sound, however, cannot travel through a vacuum. It always has to have something to travel through, known as medium such as air, water, glass, or metal. What happens to sound energy? As sound travels through medium such as water, it gets absorbed, caught by the molecules within the medium. The medium actually changes some of the acoustic energy of the sound wave into heat. One way that is this happens is that acoustic energy of sound causes the molecule of the medium to start vibrating. Where does this sound goes? We hear it. Sound is a pressure in the wave. Sound is a pressure wave in the air. This wave has energy associated with that is transferred to eardrums as mechanical energy, which is converted to electrical chemical energy to be used in the brain. Some of this energy is lost as heat in the atmosphere and within your ears. Can you be killed by sound? This general consequences is that a loud enough sound could cause an air embolism in your lungs, which then travels to your heart and kills you. Alternatively, your lungs might simply burst from the increased air pressure. High intensity ultrasonic sound, generally anything above 20 kilohertz, can cause physical damage. So, thank you for watching this presentation. Uh, I hope this presentation you have got this very good idea one. So let's. So if you still have any question, or you can comment below your queries if you have any. I hope you have got a lot of new insights about the sound, and if it's boring, then try to see this video once again, because a lot of physics, the science that you have already studied in your school time, the concepts that got recalled, you have must have recalled all those ideas and the concepts that you have studied in your school days. So if it's boring, then please watch this video again. You'll feel good in this video. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching this video. This was Rabin Shu Sharma.